Hi everybody, my name is Cheri. Welcome to my stamp studio. I am going to do a card for you today that features one of the new suites from the January mini catalog. So I wanted to take a second just to tell you of a couple of things because here's my plan. My plan is I'm going to try to get catalogs out today. I'm going to start working on packaging those up. So if you ordered in November, yours should hopefully be in the mail by Monday. And then I will work through the rest of my list as we go. So you will have this in your hot little hand soon. I have to get Club out. And then I'm going to try to pre-record a few things because I would like not to work the week of Christmas and the week after. So that's my goal. So I just want to make sure that you know that you're aware of a couple of things. First, Card Club. If you want to go watch this video, this is the first Card Club project for December. My Card Club is online. So all the stuff comes to you in the mail. It's a subscription service. You go watch this video, it will tell you everything that you need to know about my Card Club. It's super fun. And this month, it's a little bit different because it's December and I tend to do them differently in December. But you get this pack, half a pack of this paper for free. I think it's called Light and Airy. It's a celebration pack. So the money then that normally I would spend on paper is going towards embossing paste. So it's going to be a fun little club this month. Then, celebration does start, so I'm going to show you the glass mat in a second. I can't open these because we're not allowed to open them until the catalog is live, which is January 4th, I think. Yep, January 4th it says on the back. But in this catalog, if you sign up to be a part of my team, then you get the glass mat for free, and I'm going to show you the glass mat. So hang on to see that. And if you're getting catalogs from me, it will come with your other catalog. You get both of them. You get a coupon that is good for the end of the month as a thank you for all of my customers. Oh, now I forgot what I was going to say. Oh, so if you've never gotten a catalog from me before, then there should be a link below this video or on my website or in the email, wherever you're watching this, you got the link from. There should be a link, and just click that and then go give me your mailing information and I will send you the first one for free. Then I have this up, which is also from the new catalog because I'm trying to decide what January club is going to be. I'm hoping that I can tell you before Christmas. This is in the running. The one I'm using today is in the running. And then this one is, if you go watch this video, is for my Try It class. I do one of those classes, again, online, every time a new catalog comes out. So if you go watch that, then you can learn all about the Try It class. It's about 75, maybe 80% full now. The last couple of days I haven't spent hardly any time like on the computer part of my work. So I'm not 100% sure. I know that more registrations have come in, but if you do this class, then you get to try almost everything in here. We'll use all of the ribbons, and in the celebration, we'll use all the ribbons, all the embellishments. I'll give you some die, some punches, some things that have gone through the folder. And in that class, we'll make 10 cards together. They'll all have a video. And in this class, they also have a PDF that you can go back because they're all fun folds and templates. And then you can use those again in the future. So for today, I'm going to use another suite in the catalog. It is called Lifetime of Love. So let me aim the camera down and we'll get going on the card. Okay, so for this card, like I said, I'm going to use Lifetime of Love. It is a wedding anniversary type of bundle, but anytime there's florals and there's beautiful dies, it's the dies that really drew me to the set. And then the paper, the ribbon, all of the suite itself is beautiful as well. So if you think, well, I don't need any wedding cards, it always, our lives go in seasons. Sooner or later, you'll need them again. But you don't have to use the words. And it has an I love you. So if you're looking for something for Valentine's. But the dies, like this one right here, super pretty. And then I'm going to use this one here. So we're going to work on, I have a couple of tips for you. I'm going to show you the glass mat. I'm going to show you how to use the glass mat to line up your stamps straight as you stick them on the blocks. But there's a little bit of dry time because I'm using vellum and the die needs some dry time as well. So I'm going to kind of do this card in funny order. It's not the order I made mine in, but to allow the stuff to set, I'm going to do it this way. So for the card, I'm using a piece of the designer series paper. Let me show you the card that didn't make the cut. This one's not quite finished because I just wasn't pleased with it. It was not what I was going for. I wanted something a little bit more elegant. My daughter's getting married in February and their colors are black and gold and everything's kind of extravagantly streamlined. Let's go with that because there's lots of stuff, but it's black and gold. And so we're trying to keep everything in those themes. And so I think when I started with this, it just didn't end up where I wanted. So I didn't even finish it, but I liked the base design of it. So we're going to go with that. I'm going to use Pretty Peacock because that's the color of the paper. I do show this in my unboxing video. And then if you take the Try It class, we'll go through all of the papers together. And then a sheet of vellum. And then I'm going to use some gold foil to cut out the dies. So I'm going to show you how I'm going to cut the dies. But because I have the glass mat here, I'm going to have to rethink how I use the glass mat and use my cut and emboss machine in the same filming area because they don't fit. So I'm going to put this through. So this will run through just one pass on the foil. That's fine. This one here, I did use watercolor paper and it took, well, I went back and forth once and then I flipped it upside down and did once and it all popped out fine. But then I'm also going to use these, which are part of the bundle, and I'm going to use this piece of scrap here. Don't run them all through at the same time. What happens is sometimes these ones in the middle don't get cut all the way because this is kind of stopping it. So I'm going to run this through, and then I'll show you the scrap piece that I'm going to use to get my leaves. So here it is after one pass. I'll put it on here so you can see a little bit better, and so I don't get stuff all over my working space. So this piece here, I'm going to use to get those other two leaves. You could do more, but again, I was trying to keep it streamlined. Here's this, and you can see these fall out. Now on the watercolor cardstock, it took a little bit more pushing because it's just a thicker cardstock. So if you use anything that's glittered, which would be beautiful, or if you put adhesive, the adhesive sheets on the back of this, so you don't have to use glue, it'll probably take one more pass and probably a little bit more to pop those out. But see, they fall right out. And that was just back and forth. And now I'm going to stick these in. And it's more than you need. So you could do some for the envelope or, you know, just put a couple of gold leaves on the inside if you want. I like to do that on the fancier cards. So let me cut these out. So this little piece here, it comes with the glass mat. And I'm sure as we start using them, there'll be more ways that I know to use it. You can use this for the brayer, as you saw at the beginning. It's a great place if you're working with dies because they won't leave your working space. And how many times have we lost dies? So I'll show you a couple of more features for it, but I know that some of you, because it's new, are like, what is that? But I'm going to do the card, and then when my glue dries, I'll show you some more about the mat. So to do it, the reason I needed to cut this out was I want to center my words here. So how do you use a glass mat? You can also use grid paper, but the glass mat is nice because it's just here. Move that out of the way so I can go up here. So here is the sentiment that I want for the top of the card. So when you use the glass mat or a template and our clear blocks, you can line this on here and know that it's straight. See, it's straight in here. And then you can put this on here and then just pick your words and drop it on, and then just make sure that they are all going straight across those lines. So I'm going to show you, and then I'm going to move it down so my head's not in the way and make sure that they're straight, which as you move it, they should all still be good. It's nice on these ones that are a little scripty because it doesn't have to be perfectly straight. And then on the inside of the card, I did the same thing. This one was super easy. I'm going to stamp the inside, but see, it even has a line. So all you have to do is put make sure your block is straight though. The block has to be straight. If it's not straight, then it's not going to matter. If this gets on here straight, but then you can see that line goes straight across this line here. I painted gingerbread houses. We had Christmas yesterday with some of my stamping friends, and we painted gingerbread houses, and I have tried to get that paint off of my hands. It was not we did use some Stampin' Up stuff, but it was not a stamping project, and it was messy. We used all kinds of glitter and lots of puff paint. So now I'm going to take my piece of vellum, which is, this is cut 4 by 5 1/4, and then I did this one significantly smaller, and I just laid this on here so it would fit. But I need it to stamp on, but I don't want to cover up any more of this paper than I have to. So that's how I decided how big to make my paper. And I'm just going to lay this on here. We're not going to glue it yet. Again, make sure your paper is on here straight. I'm going to take the words for the outside. And then remember, our block is straight. We know the stamp has mounted on here straight because we just lined it up on the paper. So now I want to put it where I want and then kind of look through And then make sure that my block is straight. I'm trying to do it so I can see it, but not cover it up for you. So as long as my block is straight, the paper is straight, and I know I mounted my stamp straight, then I don't have to worry about my words being crooked. So we will take this off, and then I'm going to emboss this in gold. I will emboss the inside, but like I said, I want this to dry. So I let it all dry at the same time on my other one. But then I had straightened up my area and stuff, and it had time for it to set before I needed to move on to the next step. So this is Versamark in gold. So that's exactly where we want it to be on our project. So now to get this all on here, this is the piece that's going to have to dry. I kind of messed with it because I wanted to not put the adhesive on the sheets on it. I ripped it when I pulled it off the paper, but it's okay. We'll glue it back together. So I want this on here. The paper gets the vellum's kind of bent because it's been heated. So it was a little bit of how do I do this? So what I decided was this ribbon is gorgeous, and it's with the suite, and it will deconstruct because I did deconstruct it, and it deconstructs fabulously, but I didn't like it for this card. Again, I was going for streamlined elegance. So what I did was I took this, go ahead and get your adhesive ready, put this on here. So you can see this is straight where it needs to be. It's better if you don't rip your thing, but I'm not going to cut another one just because I ripped it. I will make it work because we all do that, right? And that will easily be glued on and nobody will even know. So it needs to go here. So I'm going to use my ribbon to hold all this on. So let's start there. It's actually kind of nice that it's ripped because now I can do this. Last time I had to lift it up and out. So I'm going to do a faux bow. So I'm going to put ribbon here. But I'm not going to push it down yet. I just want it where it needs to go. And then to be big enough to go around the edge a little bit. Now let's go back and take this. And because it's ripped, I think that part might almost be covered up. Put this back on where it goes. And then this will go over the top and help hold that in. And then this one's going to go over the top and help hold this part down. You do want to kind of like hold the rest of it so it's not moving. But now we have this on here, and I'm going to fix this with, I'll fix this with glue. If yours isn't torn, then this would not be flipping up right there. So when you do this on the back, it's important now, I want a whole strip of adhesive here. And then when you fold these over, make sure that they line right up on top of that other ribbon behind it. And you don't want it to go the whole way because this is going to help hold our card down. So we have that. And then this right here, I can put a little bit of adhesive here. And then right here on these leaves, I'm going to put a tiny bit there. And we'll put this on here. Another tip, there's a right side, the roses all go up. So unless you want all your roses to be falling down, make sure. At first I didn't notice that it did that, but it's also easy then to line this up straight because see these little square things? Just match them up in there. So we have that. And then I'm going to take my glue. I'm going to use my fine tip glue. It's pretty much stuck though. See, it's pretty much stuck. I just don't want it to look all wobbly, and I don't want this, obviously it tears easily. I don't want this to tear when you give it to the bride and groom. So I'm just going to take a spot of just a tiny one and put it there. And let's stick that on top. I'll do it there. And then this piece here, I'm going to lift it up. Tiny spot that grabs this. And then I'm going to put another block on this when we go on to do the rest of our card. Let's go ahead and glue this just like this. Still need that. Why am I putting the lid back on? So let's stick this here. Let that set a second. And then I'm going to take my ribbon. And I'm going to do a small bow, as small as you can do with this wide ribbon. Because again, we're going for elegantly streamlined. So we don't want a giant bow on here that's going to, we want this to complement our die cut in the paper. We don't want it to be the focal point. And it's really easy if you put a giant bow on your projects for that to all of a sudden people notice the bow first and you want them to notice the words and the beautiful flowers. But this ribbon, thankfully, ties really well. So just get it and keep kind of messing with it. You can pull it. You don't want to pull that so tight though that it gives it a knot. So we have those. Let's grab our other two dies. I'm trying to think what I can put this on so I can move it, because I want to show you the mat. And if I'm using this, we'll just throw it on the back of, this is last month's club set. So we have this here. Let's take our two little dies here, and we're going to keep most of our glue here on the ribbon. So we'll pop that there. And then we'll just do this one here. And they may have to go different according to how close this is to, you don't want to cover up the words. And then one more little spot of glue. And then it looks like we tied that around the card, but it's hard to tie around vellum. And it also would not have, it would have been impossible to hold that piece on there. So let's see, I still need this one. Trying to find stuff that I can lay on here. Okay, pop my lid back on, and then let's just move this out of the way so it can set up. And then I'm going to show you the mat. So it comes with, and I need to use it, but full disclosure, I had on my stamping sweatshirt before I filmed, and I didn't want to go change, so I have a t-shirt on underneath. But it does come with a chamois. It's like our other chamois. This one's starting to get dry now. When you first get it, it's all nice, and there's nothing better than a new chamois, but it's a lot thinner than our other ones, maybe half as thin, maybe a little bit more. So you can't always just wipe this up. I wiped it up yesterday because I was just stamping straight on it. You can see there was some ink. So that comes with the chamois, and I'm going to get some kind of a bag to keep this in, because I don't like when they get hard, and mine's already getting hard because I stuck it back in this yesterday and I didn't fold it up very well. I thought I did. Obviously not waterproof enough, but it does come with the chamois. It comes with, you can see these corners. These are so it doesn't slide around. So it's really nice, heavy piece of glass. It has both metric and imperial measurements on it. And the back is plain, and then it has the 4 little feet. But these are meant to stay here. When you first get it in the packaging, it has like foam up here, and I think maybe foam on the outside of the shrink plastic here. So then I was like, I know we were told to keep those on because we were told that. So keep these on, and then the whole thing, like there is no moving it. I'm moving all my lights, shaking the table, but it does not move. So that's really nice. And then you get this little tray here. So you can use this for a multitude of things. And it sticks to this. So once it's on, it's like stuck on here. And it's not going to go anywhere. So wherever you put it, it's going to stay. This is great for cleaning off your blending brushes, for putting some ink in here, or a little bit of water. And you know how much I like to watercolor, so it'll be nice to have someplace where it's just a fraction of water. Hopefully my cats don't think it's for them to drink. But here, for those of you that love ink spots and do paper pumpkins, look at this. Those squares are designed to hold that. And this is how sturdy it is. Even if you put 4 of those in there, I feel like it's kind of like a Mary Kay compact where you can stick all of the things that you want and kind of make it your own, but those aren't going to fall out. So if you're working on your paper pumpkin or any project, especially if you're doing blending brushes, it makes me want to come up with a project for blending brushes just so I can put 4 colors here and show you how to use this. Maybe I will. Christmas is hard because I have so much I want to do, and then we have new stuff and I want to show you new stuff, but I like to do the projects like I did today that are kind of thoughtless, although I did, waste a whole card that I didn't like. So that's I think it's called the Glass Mat Studio. I know it has glass and I know it has studio. Let me look. Let me see if it says in the catalog that I can't open up for you right now. But it is free for anybody who signs up to be a demonstrator in January and February. Stampin' Glass Mat Studio. So you will have the option to get this if you want. There's another option for the starter kit as well if you just don't want the mat. If you are currently a demonstrator, then you can buy this in December. They've set aside a certain amount. So if they would sell that many in different markets have different amounts, then you would have to, you lose your chance. So if you're a demonstrator, you want one, get one now rather than later. And if you're a demonstrator and you're putting in a large pre-order like I did, it can be your half price item. So if you go over 400, 425, whatever that is. So I am going to show you now how to do the inside of this card. So when I've been using it, I have not put any scrap paper down. I am going to put scrap paper down because on this card, I'm going to stamp the front and the back, and the ink gets on here and it kind of smears because it's glass. So I'm just going to throw another piece of paper on here. Let's do that. I'm going to do the front of my card first because I want to stamp it before I folded it. So I pulled some of the flowers out of the set, and I'm stamping on the Pretty Peacock cardstock with a Pretty Peacock pad. And you know, when you put that panel on the front, only the edges of this are going to show. So I'm going to stamp around the edges of the top and the one side. Let's go like that. And then I'm going to swoop them down. My friend Tanya, she always stamps the back of her cards. She stamps all over her cards. They're always a total work of art. And then every time I see it, I'm like, why do I not do that? So sometimes I remember. So I'm just going to fill this. And remember, this is where the card's going to kind of fold. So for those, you can kind of play with it so it goes over the fold of that card. But it's much easier to stamp it pre-fold, because once that folds on there, it's kind of hard to stamp over the crease in the paper. So we have that. Oh, I guess I didn't need to shut that. And then now I can fold it. I'm going to use my bone folder because I already have all this paint from yesterday on my hands, and I have washed dishes, and I have washed my face, and I have showered, and there's still just little bits that won't come off. And also some glitter, because we use lots of glitter, and then we ate at the cake bake, which they glitter you. And there's glitter on your desserts, and there's glitter. It was a glitter day. It was a girl day for sure. So now I'm going to stick this on here. I'm going to take my flowers again, and I'm going to put them at the top just to make the inside pretty as well. You could put it over here if you'd rather. And then I'm going to take my Versamark again, which hopefully that I was using that for a, there. That was one of the things that was on my card to hold the glue down. So this says, I don't remember what it says. I never use my stickers. I'm sure if you've watched many of my videos, you realize I never put a sticker on. So we put this low enough where I can see, and then remember our stamp is on here straight. So I'm going to look at this line here, that line there, and that's pretty straight. The main thing when you don't put stickers on is you need to make sure that your stamp is not upside down. Because the people who do come to my live classes, yeah, sometimes that happens. I try to remember to check. I've only maybe done it once or twice. Now this is gonna stick to the Versamark. And then I want a little bit to stick to my flowers, but not the whole thing. And it's dry, that's why I did it first. So I just want a little bit of highlights of gold. So I'm just gonna add a little bit. And for that, then don't knock it off, because regular ink doesn't hold on regular paper for the embossing powder very well. So I'm going to heat this, and I'm going to heat this first one from the bottom so it doesn't blow all that off. And it's just going to give us some really pretty gold accents. I thought about doing it to the whole card on the other side, but that's kind of tricky when you're using that much regular ink for it not to all dry. And a lot of it was going to get covered up. Now once it started to melt, you can put it up here. It just gives it kind of a fun antique-y look. Congratulations on your wedding day. It's like magic when you don't remember what the saying says and it gets embossed. Let's take this. Anytime you heat something with the heat tool, then it can kind of warp the shape. Let's see if this is all the way dry. If it's not, then I won't pick this one up and I'll show you the other one. But it doesn't take too long if you don't use a lot of the fine tip glue for it to dry. Pop this on here. Yeah, you could use a tad longer to dry, but we're good. And then these are new embellishments. They're not part of the suite. I think they're part of the suite that has the kids in it. They're iridescent foil gems. Again, if you're in Try It class, you'll get some of this ribbon. You will get some of the gems. You will see all of the embellishments. Both there's ribbon and embellishments as part of Celebration this year. So in the Celebration catalog, you will get all of those ribbons and gems. So I'm going to do 3 of the big ones. It's a wedding card. You want to go beautiful, right? So let's do 3 big ones. My Take Your Pick tool is down with all of the gingerbread houses from yesterday. This also, the weight of these will also help keep this down a little bit more. That's pretty good. Holding on pretty well. Let's see if I flip it over this way to show you the inside again. I think the ribbon needs a little bit more time to set. So super pretty. Isn't that pretty? Here's the other one. And this one, like I said, I made the card and then I set up. So you can see that it's stuck on here. Everything is stuck on here well. The back is stamped. And then there's no place where it's overtly been attached with the vellum. And I know 100% I will post some pictures of this online and people will ask me how I attach the vellum. So you just kind of have to think it through as you're working with the card, where you might want to put it. So there you go. If you're interested in my online card club, the 10th of each month, so till December 10th is the last day you can join for this month. And if you are interested in my Try It class, early bird pricing expires on December 10th. I like to keep everything on the same day so I can remember. And then registration will go up in price, but it will stay open until it has filled all the way. That's what I have for you today. So next week, again, I will do all new catalog sneak peeks, as many as I can before I am out of here for the holidays, which I'm not going anywhere, but I'm out of my office. So everybody have a great day and I will see you later. Bye.